Welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. If you're watching me live, or if you're going to be watching me on the replay, I hope that you are well and that you are having a great day or morning or evening, wherever I'm reaching you in the world. You know, since we are a global team, I appreciate that you are joining me and going to listen to what I see as being the possible predicted lineup for this upcoming game against Everton, this derby, and how we will face with some of the bad news that was released in the press conference. It's always something going on with that. Big up to Cedric. Big up, Cedric. Appreciate you joining me for today. There's been some little disappointing news to hear with the Diego news, but we'll get a little bit more into that after the predicted lineups and such. Some other interesting information too about possibly Amarin possibly falling out of the targeted managers as being reported, at least. Go a little bit in depth, or not in depth, but a little bit deeper into that. And and just kind of peruse a little of the things that caught my eye on Twitter. As always, like I tend to, I know that some people don't like to go onto that forum for various reasons, but sometimes you can find something helpful or something cool on there. Other times you can find some straight up dirt and dumbness that you just gotta go and push to the side. It is what it is. But again, I hope that you guys are all doing well out there. So we got this derby coming up, and this should be a very interesting. It should be very interesting how we go about constructing a team to go against Everton. Everton is certainly a club that plays us strong every time they face us. I think it's the last 9 times we've played them at Goodison Park. We've ended up getting draws as results. So it's not an easy place to go to. It's certainly not a place that any of us look forward to going to, simply because the derby that used to be called the friendly rivalry has turned into a bitter one, to say the least. I think often is the case is that you find a Everton that has come on to some hard times, and they tend to be, these hard times have tended to make these derbies a little bit scrappy, a little bit like dirty at times. And it doesn't help when one team has been really playing for, top honors, and the other team, as of late, ever since I guess the end of the 80s, basically, has been really playing for mid-table, if not relegation, staying out of relegation. And that's unfortunate. And that has definitely changed the dynamic of this derby. There's other derbies in the league, like your Manchester City versus United. Despite United being on hard times, they're still a viable team to contend, to have to worry about when it comes to especially to derbies for City. But for us, Everton plays that part by playing us tough, always looking to park the bus. It's one of those things. I know that you guys know I make my own kits and such. I want to make an Everton kit that says like National Express as being their sponsor, because all they do is park the bus. So they might as well get the what is the equivalent of the Greyhound bus over there. You might as well have a sponsor fitting to their club and their club's efforts. But all the same, big up to High Lord. Big up to High Lord. Big up to you, High Lord Matthias. Hope that you're well, brother. Hope that you're well. And so I do have a predicted lineup here for you guys. I do have it in the sense of this. So I have it where, let me make sure I can get this properly. I do have one for myself. I also, I'm not certain if the Irishman is going to be joining us or not today, but the Irishman sent me his predicted lineup too, so I'll share with you with that. I'd like to hear what your predicted lineups are as well, and kind of like, you know, gauge them against, you know, what you think I got right or what you think I got wrong, and or your preference. Again, this is my predicted lineup of what Klopp will go with, not what I want to go with. Okay, this has nothing to do with what I think as a coach he should go with. This is all about what I think he is going to go with. We can all discuss the other part later for sure. I mean, I don't mind you know, hearing what you would like to see being the case. But again, let's I'm going to get into this right here. Let me see this up. I'm going to bring this up too. So let's bring up this predicted lineup here. Oh, cool. The Irishman has joined us. Big up, Brian. How are you?
How are we doing? Very well.
Good.
How's everyone doing? People in chat. Saying hello to everyone.
Peachy. Yes. Big up to the Red Machine. Today, Big up to the Red Machine. I'm going to star your guys. So if you guys put who you think is going to be your predicted starting lineup, cool. If not, you can even say like who you would, if your lineup's like ours or mine or Brian's, then you can just say, oh yeah, I would just substitute this person for that person, and I'll share your comments as well, because I see the Red Machine put his in, so I'm gonna definitely give him some props by showing his as well. Oh, and I know, Daz, trust me, we're gonna talk about that. So yes, so let's get into this. I'm going to go. Let me say this. All right, so let's get into this. So this is my predicted starting lineup. I have Diaz. I have Nunez starting. I have Salah on the right, McAllister, Endo, Dom, Robbo, Virgil, Konate, Trent, and Ali. The reason why I don't have Kwanzaa starting this time around instead of Konate is because he did pick up a little bit of a knock in the game, despite him going and completing the game and getting through it. You know, I'm just doing it through precaution. And also because of the gravity of the game is a big game, you know, Konate should be able to maintain and handle it. Excuse me. As far as the midfield, I know Gravenberch is a viable candidate, considering that he's played well in that last matchup. I know that some might even have Elliott in their midfield, but I'd like to have those on the bench as well. I'd like to have those options on the bench. I'd also like to see Endo get another start at 6. Hopefully, he can pick up some more progression with his fitness. I know he did take a little bit of a knock as well, which was a concern, but I don't think that I want to risk or alter the change too much, or at least this is what I'm thinking Klopp is thinking, at least. And then Dom, I think, would get the start. I have Salah. It's one of those things where, like, I know Salah isn't in the form. I know he isn't in the place in a lot of people's minds. However, it's freaking Mo Salah. So, like, I think all of us were surprised to see him not get a start in the last matchup. You know, to say that he's not going to start 2 games in a row and be healthy would be a stretch in my mind. So I think that you're going to see Mo Salah, especially since Mo Salah does have some real history with Everton. I think that Diaz is a natural automatic start, by the way. I have Diaz being an automatic start because, one, I think Klopp always likes to play Diaz because of his versatility, because of his work effort, and also because of his ability to create things from nothing by using his feet. So I think you're going to see that on the left.
Can't use his hands.
And then I want to say Nunez is my go-to guy in the middle. I want to see Nunez. We need Nunez. If he's going to be our number 9 and he's going to be there, he has to be on point. They have to have something that's going to be scary on that back line for them. And I think that despite them parking the bus, I think that Klopp is going to say Nunez over Gakpo, who I'm big on and I can appreciate it. But yes, that's mine. Okay? Now, I'm going to bring up Brian's. Second B. All right. So this is the Irishman's predicted starting lineup. You want to go through your starting lineup for the people, Brian?
Yeah. Wait for it to come up there. That's my. Oh yeah. It's a different thingy. Yeah, I've gone with obviously Alisson, Gomez at left back, Van Dijk and Canate in the middle, Trent at right back. Just because I didn't want to end up picking kind of the same team that I thought a lot of people go with, and I might be wrong, but I just think he spoke about changes and he spoke about the reasons why some people were out of the last game. Lots of games to come, yada yada. So there's probably going to be a change somewhere, I thought. So again, this is my prediction.
This is your lineup, or is this what you think Klopp is going to do?
I was literally about to tell people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good. So. You don't need to. I'm good. Let me go. So, again, this is what I'm thinking that he's going to be making some changes. So, as he said, with people coming in and out, I just thought, potentially that one. Robertson, I like for it, but I just wouldn't be surprised to see Joey come in. I think the midfield was the two boys. Was an obvious rest. Maybe Gravenberch might have done enough to take his spot, but I think you'll go. I think you'll go with that one. But I just think they've been rested enough. Endo for me is a concern as well with the knock there. So then you get to the front three. So I just I can't see him not starting Diaz. Can't see him not starting Salah. So. It's just down to Gakpo or Nunez. It really is, and I think Nunez really didn't. I don't think he did enough off the bench either time. I really don't think he didn't. Like he's been sat down and he's come on and he's pretty much been irrelevant. So do you drop every now and again? You have to look at a guy who's played his way into form. You have to say, do you know what? You don't deserve to be dropped. I might have had a different thing here, but I don't think you deserve to be dropped. I think Klopp is that kind of loyal manager. Again, I can't make a case for Nunez. I don't see what he's done to impress. Maybe it was just a break he was getting. He's okay. He's always coming back for everything because I like him up against such and such. maybe something like that. But again, I didn't want to go kind of too obvious or too similar to everyone else. So. I think Gakpo. Yeah, I think he'll go with him. He might even go with him on the left, but I think he'll start him. So again, Gomez and Gakpo. That's really the only way I've gone different from you anyway. And I reckon most people in chat, most of them. I reckon that's it. Yeah, it's not me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I'd start Robbo. I would start. Yeah, the only thing I wouldn't do is I'd start Robbo, but I think he might bring a job.
Okay.
But I wouldn't start Nunez either. But that's a strong side there.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up some of the chats. I'll bring up some of the chats.
I never gave you a bench. I forgot about it.
Oh, yeah. I just assumed the bench for you. I think all those players. I just went with the regular bench with you with Simicast, Robbo, Gravenberch, Nunez, Dan's, Elliott, Kwanzaa, Kelleher, and then those are pretty much the givens. And then the only probably variable would have been either if you think Pachetik's going to start. I mean, not start, but play on the bench, or Clark. Those are probably the only two options that he would probably bring in, I think.
Like, to be honest, if he wasn't injured, I would have been predicting him to start Jota.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, and I'm not sure who would have lost out for me there. Maybe
Mhm.
Diaz. I may even no, I can't see him dropping Diaz against Everton. That's
He
the thing,
can. That's his.
you
That's his
know.
go-to. That's his go-to against Everton.
And then
In
you've
the game,
got
for instance, in one of the games I remember that we played Everton, Salah scored the goals per se. I think it was the one where like he had like Ashley Young on a spliff, like he was just
he got
crushing.
the pen off. Young was what he did.
Yeah, yeah, and then Salah scored the penalty kick.
Does
So like
anyone know? Sorry, does anyone know quickly? Is it the same injury? Has Jota done the same thing, or has he done something different?
he didn't. So Klopp isn't saying what exactly what it is that he did. He just said he felt something.
Did we rush
So
him? This is another one. Did we rush him back?
no, he says it's not a big injury. This is like via the press conference. He says not a big injury. He says like probably be about 2 weeks if not less. So like but 2 weeks is just taking precautions, I guess, and that he didn't really get in like a reporter asked him the question, is this from his previous injury or is this from like is this something new, and he said that he couldn't get into those specifics. That's what he said.
Okay. Okay. Thank
So
you.
um so yeah, let me bring up some of these because the guys in the chat have their own selections. Now I'm not certain if this is their selections or if this is them thinking what Klopp is going to do. But the Red Machine says he thinks Ali, Trent, Kanate, Van Dyke, Robbo, Endo, Maka, Grav, Diaz, Hackbo, Salah. Wouldn't mind Salah down the middle. Interesting. Could be interesting. That would be very interesting if he did that, to be honest with you. If you were to put, like, let's say, Hackbo on the left and then put, because I don't want to see Hackbo. I don't want to see Hackbo on the right, tell you the truth. But it would be interesting if we put Cody on the left, and then put Salah in the middle, and then put Diaz in the on the right wing, or even because Diaz has played center forward technically. He has played central technically for his international club too. So it'd be interesting even if Diaz started in the middle. It'd be interesting, but um, let's see. Hylor says his predicted 11 is Ali, Alexander Arnold, Konate, Van Dyke, Robbo, Endo, Dom, Mac, Salah, Cody, and Darwin. So very, very. I think that's pretty much. I think he pretty much picked the same lineup that I did, actually. Yeah. Um, and then let's see. Bonker said Ali, Gomez, Kwanzaa. It's a shout. VVD. He went with Gomez like you did, Brian. McAllister. He has Endo, Trent. Okay, so let me make sure. Wait, hold on. How's he on? Okay, I assume he means Ali, Gomez, Kwanzaa, VVD, Trent, then McAllister, Endo. I think he's missing someone.
He's left one out.
Yeah. Diaz, Hackbo. I guess this is his front three is Diaz, Hackbo, and Salah. But he's missing unless he's trying to be a little bit coy there and try to get Trent in that midfield. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. But he's still missing one. Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's it's Ali, Gomez, Kwanzaa, BBD, Trent back four, McAllister,
Right.
Endo.
Right.
So that's he has a midfield too, and then he has Diaz, Gakpo, Salah up front. So he's missing a midfielder. So
right.
I'd imagine
But I think
he's missing a midfielder.
maybe he's trying to say McAllister, Endo, Trent in midfield, and then he's just missing a
yeah, got to bring in a right back.
Then I guess he's throwing. Oh, well, he's got Gomez already. Maybe throwing Robbo and have Gomez play right back. I'll let him. He'll most likely answer that one. Daz has Ali, Trent, Ibu, VVD, Robbo, Endo, Maka, Harvey with the shout. Okay, Salah, Nunez, and Cody. Very, very interesting.
It looks like Gakpo is kind of winning out here at the moment.
He is.
It looks like he's kind of winning out.
it's funny. It's funny. Like I'm telling you, right? Whenever we go through a lot of these, I see neon grave. I'll put
Fans.
yours up in a second. Whenever we go through these we go through these like waves. You know what I mean? Like out here, I'm just out here soul surfing. I don't know if you guys surf or anything like that, but like they do soul surfing is like very big in Hawaii, and it's like one of those things where you get the longboard, you just kind of like you're not trying to shred, you're not going out there to like do all this like shredding on the waves. You're just trying to just ride the waves, and you're out there and you're waiting for that perfect wave.
Well,
That's
that's
what
what happens
sometimes
when
it
you
feels
play
like.
well. It's what happens when you play well. People start noticing. They go, okay. Like I
Yeah.
said, with Klopp, he might be looking at this guy going, I can't really pull out unless he's tired.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't like he hasn't done anything to deserve being dropped. So
I get you. I get you. You
yeah,
know,
we
it's
just see. I
weird.
just think
Yeah.
that's where but again, he could just go with the straight up standby front three. Diaz,
Uh-huh.
Nunez, Salah. But
Yeah. Very true.
he'll be unlucky if he ends up on the bench. He'll be unlucky. But look, we've got
Yeah.
West Ham first thing, and we've got a bloody early midday kickoff. Then what?
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
and a half
I
days
think it's
later.
like got to be weighed into it. You know how he
Yeah.
hates those kickoffs too. I'm surprised he hasn't talked about it, to tell you the truth, as much as he usually does. I think he just kind of said, you know what, I'm out of here in
No
like five.
point now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
out of
it's
here in
like
5 games. You know what?
there's no
The
point
things I
complaining
normally
about the
bitch
food in the
about, yeah,
canteen
I'm just
or
gonna,
food. Yeah, no
yeah,
point complaining about the food in the canteen now at this stage. I'm going in 2 weeks.
exactly, exactly. Let me bring up Neon Gray's comment as well, and then I got two really decent comments. All the comments are decent, but I got two really quality comments as well from High Lord to bring up too. Um, Neon Grave says his 11 are Ali Trent, Kwanzaa, VVD, Robbo, Endo in the 6, Maka, and Gravenberch. A lot of people have like really liked what they saw from Gravenberch. All right. Elliot getting us. Oh wow. Oh wow. Neon went way like
Oh, he did,
wow.
yeah. Yeah, he did. He went out
Yeah.
there.
He went out. He went there because I guess he's gonna have Elliot on the right wing. Gonna have, I assume, Dan's in the middle and then Hackbo on the left wing.
I couldn't see any other way. Endo,
Yeah.
Maka, Grav. Yeah, that's the midfield. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm assuming that's my assumption that that's his 11, not Klopp's 11. I can safely pretty much assume that. Yeah, I don't think that there's any way that we will see a Dan's start a derby, matchup for like one of his like first starts. I don't know about that. These are
The
the comments I
man's.
wanted to bring up real quick. Okay, go ahead, Brian. And then
No,
I'll
sorry, I
bring
was just saying that the man's not happy with Salah, so he doesn't want
yeah,
to see him anywhere near the pitch.
doesn't
So,
want to
okay.
see him anywhere
Yeah.
near that pitch. Yeah. These are the two comments I spoke on earlier on. Hyler always good with the quotes here. I love it. Everton have some important injuries as well, which they do. Beto had that concussion. Most likely is not going to be eligible to play. Um, uh, Lewis Dobbin, Dali Ali, Nathan Peterson, Coleman are all absent. And oh yes, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is in doubt as well.
He's
So
always a doubt.
yeah. So there's a lot of players that they have that aren't necessarily that. It's going to be very interesting to see who they go with up front. And then this was a comment too. He says, our strategy must be to counter that physical/dirty play that Everton always seem to mix in their play just to fight us out of our style. I think that's a quality statement too, by the way. Because I think that's what they're trying to do.
Healer obviously
Oh,
never saw games back in the 90s.
oh
If he thinks they're tough now, these are nothing like they used to be. These
well,
are
yeah,
absolutely nothing.
yeah.
You want to see
Oh, yeah.
dirty, like properly, like
Proper dirty.
yeah.
Proper dirty.
Yeah. We're nowhere. We're way beyond that. Like they're
Right.
a bit rough. They're a bit tough. But if you can't handle that stuff, you don't win championships. You can't handle
Yeah.
all sorts of different challenges. It's going to have it. And I wouldn't have it any other way in a derby. I don't want some a happy clappy friendly derby where it's all nice. I want that edge to it. And okay, if someone gets injured, they get injured. But look, I'm old school when it comes to that. It's a lot of it's been taken out with the fight, so don't worry about that stuff, man. We're used to dealing with, but it's not just from them, But Klopp does not have a good record at Goodison Park. He really doesn't. It's not somewhere I think he has two. I think your man David Lynch was two. I think he said he has two at Goodison, which isn't great. So he'll, last time he's ever going to go there as Liverpool manager. So hopefully he can, take something from that and use that. But it's not a great record. It's not a good place to go. But normally you'd be talking, because it's the Merseyside derby, I'd imagine quite a few of them were early kickoffs. There'd be no 8 o'clock. This is 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. It's a very unusual time to play a Merseyside derby, a league game. Very unusual.
Right.
So it could be quite a different atmosphere there tomorrow night. Really could be. So I'm expecting a more fired up game than some of the last ones. So yeah, there'll definitely be a bit of that in it. But we can give as much as we take. It's not like we've got weak players out there. Our guys out there are just as capable of leaving a foot in on anyone, and no Canate VVD, they won't be bullied. I'm not worried about that.
Right,
I'm saying bring it on. When it comes to that stuff, bring it on. We'll out muscle them and we'll out fight them, and then we'll play our football. And our football is better than their football. So that's the only way you have to look at it.
Oh, by the way, yeah, I see what you said. Now I do see that. Yeah, he did say he doesn't want to see Sal anywhere near the pitch, Neon Grave. Okay.
Yeah, he ain't happy with the dude.
Yeah. Bonkers did say that he wants Robbo at that left back as the one position that he left out, by the way. So
yeah. Did you put in Antoine's team? Did you see Antoine?
Yeah, I'm about to put that up here. Cool. Yeah. Ali, Trent, Kanate, VVD, and Gomez. He emphasizes Gomez because he's paid his penance for Gomez. McAllister, Endo, Gravenberch, Salah, and Danz and Cody. If you guys think that Klopp is going to play Danz, it would not only mean that Nunez and Cody are not like, they would have to be seriously on the fringes of not being able to play. If you think Danz this is not a shot at Danz. It's just more of a sense of Klopp. Klopp. That would be a bold statement to make and not include Diaz, who is his hands down go-to when it comes to teams that have a low block. So yeah. Sorry, getting some updates. And there was one other thing too. There's a question here from Michael Awesome. Big up, Michael. He says, big up Liverpool 12th man. What's your take on Arne Slot being the leading candidate? I've seen a lot of these cases. I know I'm going to suggest this to a lot of people. I know that we'll delve into a little bit of it. Like, and I don't mind like picking at it a little bit or poking the top layer just a little bit of like those kinds of like, who's our next manager? But I can't stress this enough. I am solely only interested and focused on these next 5 games. We will figure out what our next coach is going to be in due time. I'm not like tracking planes. I'm not tracking jets from Portugal to England. I'm not like, I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. I almost got pulled into it, but I'm not going to. I just think like Arne, I don't know too much about Arne Slot other than what I've read. I don't really follow the Dutch league that closely, and I certainly don't follow his team. So
they won a cup last night.
Yeah.
I think it was either last night or the day before. They just won a cup.
Yeah,
won a league last year. Was it last year he won the league? He won the league last year. Yeah, so that's about all. Yeah,
he's heavily regarded by like Bayern Munich. Apparently have like their eyes on him. Manchester United have even contemplated looking at him. Obviously, there's links between us now that some of the Amarin links have kind of like fallen off a little bit, but it is what it is. Do you have an opinion on it, Brian?
Again, we're getting to the stage now where it's going to be overwhelming all the other news. I mean, you just want something like I prefer to know or to else there to be nothing, just to just come out with an announcement. That's not possible these days with social media and the press. But it looks like, I mean, just from what I've read, it looks like it is a serious interest there. But like a massive gamble on anybody like that to come in. Amarim, I don't know what went on there. All of this stuff, but like you, it's not the main topic at the moment. It's not the main problem we have in front of us, but it is there. And you just let the guys get on with it in the background. But like I said, if we come in, it's to be able to, back any manager. But this guy, I couldn't tell you anything. I know he's done well with Feyenoord, plays attacking football, is a young coach. That's like Hito was saying, Tottenham wanted him last year, so he's been around, he's been on the radar for the big clubs. They know what he's up to, but who knows? Go from Feyenoord to Liverpool. I kind of prefer, I don't know, just off the bat, I always say just because a manager plays one particular system doesn't mean he's going to play that system everywhere else. But if Amarim was a sort of a 3-5-2 guy or 3-2-2-2, or 3, all this kind of stuff, I prefer the style that Arne Slot has, that I've been reading that he plays. So yeah, these are two guys I've never heard of a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Well, Arne Slot I had, because he's got one of those names when you hear it, you kind of remember it. But he was not on my radar. But this is where we are now. So I don't know if they get it right. I think Edwards. I think it's a pretty tight group of people to be picking from. I don't think there's a lot out there. And like you just said, everyone's looking at this guy. It's not just us.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do we move? Do we miss out? Do we get him? Do we go too early? But you just can't know to come to a club this size for a manager like that. You won't know until he tries. You really won't. So you've got to give him the backing. It's a hard one, man. It's a hard one.
I just saw. It's kind of interesting. The Streets arrived right when Tracy Neville arrived too. So the Streets arrived, and then Tracy Neville popped into the chat.
Well, at least we know Rasta's not Tracy Neville. So
yes, that's certainly
that's
true.
one off the list.
That's one off the list.
How are you, Rasta?
We got Ross, and hello to Tracy as well. Okay, I got you. Neon's kind of questioning. A lot of people I know are more on. I know that's a good question, Tracy. A lot of people have been definitely thinking that Nunez is kind of in the. I want to say somewhat in the basement, I guess you could say. With some people's.
Well, Antoine, what was his quote there earlier on? Hang on. Nunez is a bench warmer. Nunez is for me a bench warmer only. So that's what I'm. At the moment, I think he should still be sitting there. So
I think I don't know. Bench warmer is such a strong word to use. I'd like to have. I think that people sometimes don't. Sometimes people don't want to use this word, or use this description for a player. But impact sub or super sub are necessary for teams. They just are. You need someone that can bring intensity, that can bring energy, that can really change a game in 15, 20 minutes worth of play, if sometimes even less, doesn't need a lot of time to kind of like get into the flow of the game. They're just instant impact. There's a guy over here, an NBA player, this old school NBA player. His name was Vinnie Johnson, and I used to call him the microwave. And the reason why I call him the microwave is because he's like instant, like he's like instant offense. And he was not a starter, and he wasn't a bench warmer. So like that's what I like the concept of if we have Elliott off the bench, I know he doesn't necessarily like the name super sub, but it's still one of those things where I'm just like, we need you as a super sub because sometimes everything's not clicking, or maybe sometimes we're deadlocked, or we're searching for that goal, and we need that energy. We need a little bit of life, and players like Elliott, players like Nunez certainly bring it. And also, I mean, you can say the same for Diego.
That's
too.
what he's been relegated to now. Wow.
Yeah.
If Nunez, if that's what Nunez has gotten to the stage where he's been seen as someone to come off the bench and make an impact, that's not great. But he had the last two chances.
No. Right.
Like I said,
and I'm not relegating him to that. I'm not relegating him to that. I'm just saying if he can provide that, I'm cool. Like I said, whatever contribution you can make to the team, all contributions are warranted.
But it's like I said, that's why I couldn't pick him, because he was sat down, to give him a rest, or maybe just on form. And he had two chances to come on, and he did absolutely nothing when he came on. So that's why I couldn't say, I'm going to pick him because he's done this. So I don't know. Something needs to go. Something needs to work for that guy. Something needs to happen for him.
Yeah.
It's one step forward, two steps back, or it's one step to the side and one step forward and then another step back. He just cannot seem to get on a streak or a roll or a run or whatever you want to call it. Just constantly playing and contributing, but up and down. It's like musical chairs, off the bench, on the bench. But look, if he was to start against Everton tomorrow, I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Yeah, and that's why I have him starting. Ross the crap. I have him starting. So I'm not saying that Nunez should be a super sub. I'm not saying that that's his role now. Something along those lines. No, I'm saying if you're going to be on the bench, play the part of the super sub, bro. Play the part of being the difference maker. Play the part of making a change, not someone that's going to like just be a passenger when you get in the game. That's my
come on and suck up oxygen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like be a viable option off the bench, because you're not going to Nunez to get something of like, he's going to bring us balance to our team. No, if anything, you're going there because of the chaos, because of the runs, because of the physicality and intensity that he's going to put out there. And that's why I say, if you're going to be on the bench, be that. But if you're going to be on the pitch starting, get into it. Get into it from the very beginning. That's what I'm trying to emphasize about Nunez. Let's see. Let me see some other comments too. Big up to Beijing Pops knows what I'm talking about, the microwave. Yes, he was one of the first real.
What to say his name was?
Vinnie Johnson. He played for the Detroit Pistons back in the day during the Detroit Bad Boys era, where they had like Isaiah Thomas and Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, like. Really, really, like just you hated that team if you had to play them, because they were just a-holes. They were just pains in the butt, and they were bad. They were bad.
It's not hate, Neon. It's not hate. It's just football, man. It's just football.
Yeah. What's the hate? What are you talking about for the hate? I hate the same hate that Brain has for Nunez. I have for Salah. Oh, I got you.
I don't hate Nunez. It's just opinions on football. He's probably a lovely
it's just opinion on football. Yeah, definitely. That's an interesting comment. I don't know if that's true. I mean, like the numbers wouldn't suggest that as of late. Yes, but I mean, I think there might be other mitigating factors in the reason why that he hasn't been producing the way that he's been producing. Let's not get it twisted. We have not seen Salah really be engaging other defenders in front of him. He hasn't been really taking on defenders directly, with his possession when he has possession of the ball. And it could be the reason why we haven't seen his numbers have dipped in touches as well, which is kind of surprising, because normally his numbers double, or either double, if not are like equivalent to the other forwards combined normally when it comes to touches, because normally all of it's getting focused and funneled through Salah. But as of late, it's been his numbers have been down for touches, and for progressive take-ons and such, that's been down too because as a result.
The last time Salah beat a man, England was still in the EU. And that guy just. Honestly, when's the last time you saw Salah actually like beat somebody and then
the last time was 7-0. 7-0 was the last time. I'm gonna open up a ginger ale myself, but like the last time was 7-0. Honestly.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's had that little beat someone and bend one into the corner. Just a real classic Salah move. Just a real classic Salah goal.
Last time I've seen it. Yep. Can anyone in the chat? And this is not a swipe, at Salah at all, because I still think that he's engineered other options for himself to kind of like balance out the fact that he's not going to be taking those kinds of runs. He's been more progressive with his passing, to be honest with you. I was disappointed with that pass to Nunez in the game. That should have been a little bit close, should have been a better pass, and he had plenty of pitch to make it a better pass. But it was just a hair off.
I don't know. You get a lot of pushback on that. You'd say a lot of people were saying like, it wasn't inch perfect, but he should have at least tested the keeper with it. I would have said, it might not have been the best ball, but I'll give Darwin benefit of the doubt. They were both cold.
I think
they were both cold. They were both cold. They were only off the bench, but I don't think it was the worst pass in the world. Yeah, no, it's just he doesn't look. Mo was never someone that, like we think he did. We thought he was. We think he's an excellent dribbler. He never actually was. He could do it, but that wasn't his forte. Beating men like that. But that's not a lot. He's not like a fancy dribbler like Neymar or Messi or something, constantly just taking people on and beating them for fun. He was just more clean. He was always like get past somebody and finish as quickly as possible. So it's never been an issue for me. It was more.
Do you think that would you say that Messi? This is a question. Would you say that Messi has better pace than Salah?
I'm not comparing Messi to Salah on any.
I'm just asking.
The chat can answer that. Better pace.
Just pace. That's all I'm asking. It's a simple
better
question.
Pace. So is he quicker?
Would you say Messi is faster than Salah in essence?
Well, not right now. He's not. He's nearly 36.
Right. But I meant
at his peak,
he was quick. At the same comparable age stage then, at Messi at 32. Or 31. Was he?
Are we? What's this? Are we trying to find a way to say that Salah is better than Messi here?
I'm just trying to find a way to answer the question.
No, I just don't understand the point.
It's simple. I'm just asking a question. Just asking a question. Is he better as in pace? Did you ever think? Do you think that Mo is quicker? Or do you think that Salah was, or do you think that Messi was quicker?
I wouldn't say there was much in it at their fastest. No, Messi was quick when he was younger. Yeah.
Okay. So
Mo's rapid, but I wouldn't say there was a whole lot. Like Messi was never slow, but we never needed to be. And a sprint merchant. That was never really his thing. Okay. I suppose if there's one thing in the world that Mo Salah was, I wouldn't say better. It's just if you're born quicker, you're quicker. Well, Messi's probably a little bit too small to be. So that's probably his top speed running.
Messi and Salah are about the same height, though. They're about the same stature. That's why I'm asking too, as well. They're about the same stature.
Yeah, okay. Salah is better than Messi. Move on.
That's what Brian said. I did not suggest that. All I said was he's the same size. I don't know how you went from 0 to 100 real quick.
No, I just don't. Yeah, it's like, why are we comparing?
More so, like the reason why I'm gauging that question, or I'll engage since my co-pilot doesn't want to play the game here. I'll engage with the chat here that has answered some of my questions. The Rasta Crab said, "Is in prime Mo was quicker?" Okay. And Mo was way faster. Okay, yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, it's just interesting. I think Messi has better ball control, but better ball dribbling skills than Salah. But
I think he might too. Yeah. I think he might too. I think that might be an understatement of the fucking century. Yeah, but anyway,
Okay, so again,
Messi better ball control than Salah.
Messi has much better ball control and ball dribbling skills than Salah. But that's not saying that Salah doesn't have ball dribbling skills or ball control. But
No, I
because he
never said
might
he
have,
didn't. I
but
never said he
because he
didn't.
might have, because he might have the pace or a little bit increased pace, he had to rely on his pace a little bit more to get by some of the players that he did. Whereas in Messi, because of his skill level,
Superior
with,
footballing ability.
because of his skill level, he was able to
Now I
surpass
get what this is about.
defenders
Now I get what this is about.
and not have to rely on his athletic speed and such. So
Wow, that is unbelievable. That is incredible. You should definitely go into politics, man. That is one of the best spins I've ever heard in my
it's
life.
not a
But it
okay.
so
Brian, you're killing me today.
no, come on, man. So Messi Messi wasn't quick enough, so he just had to be brilliant at football to make up for the fact that he wasn't as quick as Salah.
He didn't have to be.
So
He is.
so
There's a
that's
difference.
why.
He doesn't have to be. He is. He has
Oh,
natural
that's
talents.
interesting. That's
I'm
interesting.
saying
That's
that.
interesting.
Okay, let me break it down to some of those in the back of the classroom that don't want to listen. All right. All I'm trying to get across is that a player that doesn't have the skill sets of a Messi, like a Messi, will rely on their pace. They could be pace merchants per se, right? I'm not calling Salah necessarily a pace merchant, but I'm certainly saying he's a pretty fast, rapid wing slash inside forward. Okay, so when it comes to him going up against those players, when he has that pace, he was able to beat players despite not having the dribbling skills of Messi. Therefore, now that his pace has maybe slowed up a tiny bit, maybe that difference of his pace is now the reason why he's not engaging other players and he's focusing more so on his passing, because now they're still going to give him the attention that they normally did before when he had the pace. But now that he's not engaging and trying to beat defenders, he's trying to find outlets like Nunez and the like. That's the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying.
No, I just think you got butthurt. I just think you got butthurt because I said Messi was a better dribbler than Mo.
No.
And you went into defense mode and you started launching
Oh my
counter strikes.
gosh.
And the Iron Dome went up. The Iron Dome went up straight away. It was like incoming. Shoot him down.
No.
Hey, look, the guy, like Pops
See,
is
I'm
saying
not.
there,
I know.
wingers. No, but like what
That's
Pops
a
is
great
saying,
pitch.
wingers. I'm only winding
are
up. I'm
funny.
only winding up.
It's not even, I
Wingers.
know. I'm not trying to make
Wait.
a play to make it like
I
Messi's.
know.
That's just funny. That's funny.
I know. I'm only winding you up, man, because
I know. I
can
like
see
it.
where
I
you're
like it.
going.
I like it. I'm good with
But
it.
I just want to say what Pops is saying is that wingers in
I
general are
saw
on the
that.
pace.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Because
You can bring it up.
that's what you were saying. Like that's the thing. It's like Mo when he doesn't have that. But there's also like if you can't run into 2 yards of space,
Right.
you can't run into 4 or 5 yards of room and use your pace to beat somebody.
Do you think that's why they've been pushing him, or they originally tried to push him wider?
Well, I think that's why teams want to sit back against us. It's just like you can still see it every now and again when we catch someone out up the pitch at a set piece or a corner. You can still see Mo is off like lightning.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be as quick as he was 4 years ago because he's not at his, your physical peak. It ends around, 30 at max, so like these guys can bring it in. So he might be just a hair slower than he used to be, but he's still absolutely rapid. And you can see it on the break sometimes. So, but you see it when we have space to run into that he can still use that asset.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he may have lost a yard of pace, but he's still, by Premier League standards, still. This is why I'm still not biting on this whole he's happy to go to Saudi thing. Because I said, I'm looking at somebody who could still be playing in the Champions League in 2 years. He may not be doing it for us at the moment.
He's fat. So, like, you're saying basically Philip, you're saying Messi is faster, but you're saying that pace-wise,
he's a quicker football brain.
He's Salah's faster. Oh, brain wise, I got you.
I think he
Brain
has a
wise,
quicker
yeah, yeah.
football brain.
Okay, I
Yeah,
thought he was.
yeah.
Okay, I get you.
So but I'm not really. It's just teams don't give us that room to do what we used to do. It's just like, oh, let's go at Liverpool and we get run at. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it is hard, like for him to use pace if there's no space to run into. So then, yeah, like you said, when he's there confronted with one or two people, like Suarez made a career of it dribbling directly at people and
right,
getting the
right.
bounce of the ball.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
he did it for 20. He did it for 12 years. So it wasn't by. It looked like he was getting the bounce and the lucky bounce every single time. You can't do it as often as he did, and it work as often with it being luck. Mo kind of tries to do the same thing, and he can't. It just doesn't work. More often than not, you don't get the bounce because you won't. Like for it to drop perfectly is probably whatever 1 or 2 in 10. He just doesn't have that real tight little close control. So it was never the best part of his game, but finishing for me was his elite finishing on the run is what I think of when I think of Salah. I think of a player running at the goal, cutting in and finishing.
hmm
That not like dribbling past people or so. That's your classic kind of Salah goal is one pass in front of him, and he might only take a touch to steady and then one to finish. We don't see how often do we. When was the last time we saw that?
yeah. No doubt.
They just don't let us play like we used to, and that's why we bring in the control and the short passing and the yada yada yada. That doesn't really suit Mo's best things from maybe a different league, but I don't see this Saudi thing. I don't think he's ready to just ride off into so. Maybe
No,
they are offering him. So, hey, look, I don't know. Maybe they put so much money on the table for him that he's like, oh, okay,
well, they would have to.
wow,
They will have to.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they will have to. He'll have to have a salary that's similar, that is very similar to like Mbappe's salary was in France, and it's and most likely you would see that happen probably because I mean, look, we're talking about a league that Stevie G is, because of his salary, is like one of the top paid managers in the world.
Benzema's on 3 million a week,
Yeah,
tax
he's on
free.
3 million a week.
3 million a week, tax free.
Wow,
He's on 150 million a year contract,
wow, man.
tax free.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Like 1 year, all Mo had to, all you have to do is, like on that money, maybe Mo goes there for a season
Right, right.
and comes. But I mean, maybe if it's, I know what we say, like, oh, you can't turn that kind of money down. And I nearly did a video with someone a while ago because I got so pissed off about this Henderson stuff, and it was listing off all the players who actually had turned down Saudi because everyone's going, oh, you can't turn it down, you can't turn down that money. It was like there's people that were turning down 10 times what Henderson was being offered, and they were the same age as him and stuff like that. But the Salah money would get to a level where genuinely it would be difficult
It'd be
to say
difficult
no.
to say no to, and like I mean, there will be some cases where he's not necessarily going to get the types of he's not going to get the offers that like a Messi or a Beckham did in America, which is interesting. But I mean, like, where you're getting like, some type of like incentive to possibly have ownership in the club after you retire type deal. But he's going to have plenty of like FU money coming his way, basically, like he can do whatever he wants.
FU and your mama too money.
Yeah.
That's like extra FUs on it.
So, oh man, yeah, for sure. I can't believe he's making that much money. That is incredible, by the way. Trying to see where it is actually. So I asked this question to the chat. I'm hopefully going to get an answer from you guys too.
It's 200 pops.
Because
it's a 200 million. It's 200 million euro, which is 172 million pounds, or 213 million US dollars per season. 200 million euro, 172 million pounds, or 213 million dollars per season, tax free. That's more than 3 million a week.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It's
The number I have, the number I do have is that he makes 1.9 million euros, but then again, 1.9 million, but he makes 100 million. Neymar and Benzema make 100 million euros, and then I have Ronaldo making 200 million euros. That's year for gross pay per year, and then gross pay per week it was 3.846 million, or let's call it 3.9. So 3.9 million for Ronaldo a week, and then I had it at 1.9, so very close to 2 million, let's call it, for Neymar, and 2 million for Benzema. That's what this resource tells me. And then even
I got it way higher.
Riyad Mahrez is even making a million euros a week, according to this resource that I use.
No, this one.
Hey, look at this way. Mane is. Oh, I know. I feel you. These are all.
No, I'm just saying they have it at 4.12, so that's double that. So it's officially is 200. But anyway, whether it's, but you're talking about more than you're talking about that kind of. So look, if he wants to go, Pops is saying he give him a 2-year extension. I think. I don't want to. I'm not kicking him out, but like everybody, like if he wants to leave, then he wants to leave. But at the same time,
he's not going to take a 1-year extension. That's just not happening. Yeah, he's not taking a 1-year extension. That's just kicking the can down the road type thing. That's not. He's going to ask for a solid two extra years, or he's going to say, okay, I'm just probably going to kick on after my year is done, and that'll be it. But real quick though, I will tell you this though, if Mane and Salah still talk, Mane might be like, yo bro, I'm on 769,000 euros a week out here in the desert.
Yeah, look how quickly he went downhill, man. It shows you what happens to these guys. Most players, when you leave Liverpool, there's only one or two. Like Mane went to Bayern, immediately basically went wrong for him. He was doing okay, but he did all right on the pitch in the time that he had. But he
started off well. He started off the year pretty well, I think.
He fell out with the fans pretty quick. He became unpopular. He fell out with the board. He fell out with people at the club.
Yeah.
I think that didn't work. He's out there. What happened to Gini Wijnaldum, the guy that we couldn't afford to lose, went to PSG for 200 grand a week, never played, ends up on loan and goes to Rome. I think he's out in Saudi Arabia now.
Yep.
These guys we couldn't afford to lose, But I think we sold them at the right time when you look at it now. So maybe we'll be doing the same thing with Mo.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it shows you how much they really appreciate it. I mean, Henderson back training at the facilities here, rather than dealing with it back in Holland. But all the same. Yeah, I asked the question, does anyone like Salah out wide still? Or would you want to see Salah be brought central like we did with Mane? Beijing Pops answered, Mo should be more of an inside forward now with someone coming around the outside to create the width. I want him closer to the goal, or he wants him closer to the goal. I think so. I mean, I think that's a viable concept to try to utilize a player like him. There's been even a shout for we're not going to convert into a 4-2-3-1 or any of that stuff. So I'm not going there with that. But I mean, coming up in the next year when we do have a new coach and we have the ability possibly to see something different because that coach has a different perspective on the formations, excuse me, then we could maybe see something different. Could we see maybe a Salah as a 10, maybe, and move him in from that wide spot and bring him into that 10, or like maybe as a second striker style concept with him. It's interesting. Interesting thought, at least. All the same.
I don't know if we play him central as per se, but I think he's, like we're talking about, if those major attributes and strengths, the pace, running behind it, and especially in a Klopp type of system, if those aren't going to be on the table, so to speak, his ability to use those talents and abilities, I'd probably rather sell him than try and mold him into something new or something different, because I mean, then it'd be interesting if we were playing with some kind of system up front where you've got him almost dropping off. How would that work? What would that look like? I'm always excited to see something like that. If someone says, we're going to do this and we're going to play, I'd be like, okay, cool. If this, really super intelligent coach that's, proven if he thinks he can do this and play this guy there, I'm all for it. Because we have slowly, like I say, if you look at the Klopp football that he played the first his first full season here and the football we're playing now, it's night and day. It's completely different. But it's because he's been here so long, we haven't really noticed radically the change. It's changing slowly in front of our eyes, But if you're to take a look back at it, but we are kind of playing a lot of the same with the same mentality, the same coach. So to just see someone come in and say, "Oh, I never thought he could play there," or we could do this. Yeah, it's just because Klopp was never going to do it. So I'm all for that kind of thing. Especially new ideas. If it's just some guy coming in where we know exactly what he's going to do, like a Conte, I don't want that. I'm not all for that. Even if it is changing and new stuff, I'm not all for something like that. But someone coming in with kind of a fresh idea and a fresh approach, but yeah, I'm all for it. And if he decides I can get 20 goals out of Salah putting him here, happy days. Happy days. 20 goals in the league. We know we can do it.
Yeah. I wanted to share with you guys. So I wanted to share with you guys some different things here that I found on Twitter. They're fun times. Let me tell you, to say the least. So here, let me just make sure I have this all correct for you guys. So rocking and rolling. All right, so I wanted to bring up something to see if you guys at least remember when this happened, because there's been talks about the fact that Thiago is going to be leaving at the end of the year and such. And this was a question that was posted on Twitter and got a lot of views and got a lot of different responses. So I'll share with you this. The post goes, Thiago, player manager. Who says no? Who's saying no to that? Thiago had to be asked. He's like, Klopp is like, tell him what I need you to tell him.
Yeah.
Gives him a little kiss and then goes in there and what are you gonna say, Brian?
Yeah. Darwin didn't. Yeah, you're breaking up because you're playing the things at the same time. Yeah, you're breaking
okay.
up.
All right. Let me see. But hopefully I'll let me see if this one breaks up too. There was another one too. There was reportedly something showing. So apparently Jaime was going to talk to FSG about trying to be the next manager, and this is apparently him walking over to check them out. I know I got frozen. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. I got frozen.
Yeah, you're broke. Yeah,
What do you say? What is your who are your scores? Yeah, yeah, I know. I got frozen up. I was trying to play some video, and apparently it did not work the way I wanted it to work. It's all good. This is possibly if Calvert Lewin is since he's a doubtful. This is possibly the lineup we might see against us. I know I have Calvert Lewin in there, but and I know that he's still like a doubt, but I don't know who else will start for them. To be honest with you, in that front or in that front three. Um, yeah, I know that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool if Torres does join the coaching staff at LFC. That'd be really cool.
well, he has been
But
coaching.
this,
I think.
yes, yeah,
I think he is coaching the kids at Atletico or well somewhere.
yes,
He's
yep,
definitely
Atletico,
working his way
yep,
up.
yep,
Get him
and
back on the pitch, man. That's what I say.
yeah, let's see if he's still got it. Yeah, that'd be great. Um, this is possible. This is the possible lineup. I think that first or that second name in that list is primarily the reason why any of those that think that Diaz isn't going to start is kind of like kidding themselves. I think that you're going to. I mean, Young looked wretched to say the least for them, and against Forest, easily could have been easily off the pitch with a couple of yellow cards, and certainly should have been given a foul. I think for that last challenge in the box. Let's see. What are your scores? What's your score prediction, Brian? What's your score prediction? And please in the chat, put your score prediction and put who you have scoring as well. I'd like to see who you guys have scoring and what's the score prediction. Go ahead, Brian.
Score prediction, yeah. Tight one, I think. I think it'll be a tight game. I don't think there'll be. Yeah, I don't know how to call this one at all.
Yeah.
We really should not have any problem with a team like them. But going there on a warm night, everyone in the pub for a few hours, I think the atmosphere is going to be raucous. I don't know, man. I really don't know. 2-1. I go with a 2-1. I don't know score. I don't know scores. Honestly, I don't. I struggle enough with score predictions. So just say Salah and Nunes. But I really like. I take a 1-0 with an own goal to get out of there with 3 points. Just no injuries.
Yep. Yep.
Well, Jota's definitely not scoring. No. Yeah, 9 of the last 11 all square.
Yeah.
You know, 5 last time. That's what we're talking about up there. You know, whenever we go there, 9 draws, 5 of the last 9 being 0-0. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's usually the crack when you go
5
there.
5 of the last 9 being goalless. Yep.
You know, but like I said, we were speaking a lot of earlier on, like a lot of those because of the fact that Merseyside Derby will have been early kickoffs.
Yep.
You know, but
it is interesting to me. I guess it certainly is a testament of like you're not going to possibly, they're not hopefully going to see red on blue violence or something like that. But it's very interesting that they'll go out of their way to really like give us. They'll say, oh, the reason why we're giving you the early kickoff is because we don't want people drinking all day and having a late kickoff and the such for some of these other games. But yet, like, for a game like this, which is, a game where you're probably going to possibly be sitting next to your brother or sister, that just so happens to like the other whatever color they like, it's kind of interesting that they're like, yeah, you guys can have the 8 p.m. game, but for those other games, no, you have to have
that just shows you, man. The Premier League, when they want to, they have the power.
Right.
because they
Yep.
said, look, this is a rearranged game. So
Yeah.
there's one slot and one slot only. So that's when we're playing it. That's when it gets played. So all those other times when the Premier League, oh well, the police said this and the police said that.
Mm-hmm.
Everton and Liverpool are part of the Premier League. They should
Yeah.
be making. So but I say, oh, the police said this. No, it's always been thrown at us. You get it for the Manchester games. The Manchester derby gets it. They don't
Mm-hmm.
get it in London.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now that there's no other time to have it, the police don't have a problem.
Right. Right. That's my point. I'm not saying this is a violent derby. I'm just saying that they pick and choose when they want to like throw that line out to say, oh, we're doing it because we're scared that trouble could emerge, but it's not the case.
Same line every season. Potential crowd, worries about crowd, but it's the same line every season.
Yeah,
and there's no issue. There's no issue between Liverpool and Everton fans.
Yeah.
But the police pull it out there all the time. It's not like the TV companies would prefer to be able to show it. Because the other option then is the other one that other people don't realize is that if they were all at 3 o'clocks, then they're all TV blackout.
Yeah, for you guys, at least, yeah.
Yeah, for Sky Sports can't show it. BT can't show it. Oh, guess what? Well, they might want it moved. Very convenient, but they can show the 8 o'clock game.
Who was your goal scorer? So I know you said 2-0. You said 2-1.
I'm not going.
You might have gone 1-0
too.
You'll settle for a 1-0, obviously. But you said 2-1.
No, you're asking for my prediction. I said 2-1. I said I don't really want to do the predicted goal score. I don't. To me, it's too much of a lottery. It's just naming names. Okay. So I just said to give you two, I'll just say Nunez and Salah. But it's hard enough to, like I said, predicting a result is guesswork at the best of times. Trying to predict who will score, I couldn't say with any certainty. So just two lads up top.
I'm just saying, go with what your gut is saying. That's all. Like who you feel like
the other thing as well,
or who do you think is like because of their form, you could see them scoring a goal.
But the other thing I was going to say as well, like don't get Sean Dyche wrong. He's a clever manager. There's no guarantee Ashley Young will start. There's no.
Who else? Who would he start then? In case he
who
did.
knows?
Who
knows?
I'm just asking who else would he start.
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not here. I'm just saying. There's no guarantee he'll start.
Mm-hmm.
He has whatever he wants to do himself. But I know he doesn't have Coleman. But yeah, if he thinks that Ashley Young's going to have a problem with Diaz, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not starting.
I don't think he thinks. I think he knows.
Well, that's the thing. Unless he's down, like I know they do have injuries, and if he's really down to the bare bones, he might have to. But like Ashley Young, it's not just he had a problem with Diaz. Like the guy's nearly 40. I mean, he don't want to be playing he doesn't want to be playing anybody with a bit of pace and trickery.
Yeah.
So he's not someone that if I was an Everton fan, I wouldn't want him play only against some team that you might think you'd have a chance of beating. But like the guy he's past it. Like he there's no way he's still capable of performing at this level. You see the other week he makes mistakes all the time. He's gotten that sloppiness now. So if he does play, he's someone you target. You run at him, you kick balls at him, you try and get him to foul you, all that stuff, because he's just not up to it anymore at this level.
Do you think that I have a question because I did see we saw everyone's lineups. Do you think there's a possibility that we still have McAllister? Obviously, he's going to be in the midfield. Endo most likely will be in the midfield too. Those are two that we could confidently say, healthy, fit, they're going to get the start. On that right mid, and that's assuming that you have McAllister on the left, okay? Would you start Elliott in this game over Dom, considering that Dom is not in the greatest of form right now? Would you? Would you, Brian? Oh, I think Brian is having something with his microphone. Okay. In the chat, then.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be starting the guy. I wouldn't be. Look. I know Dom hasn't been brilliant.
He hasn't.
I still don't know if I would start him. No. Just quickly, I'd say no. I'd
no.
Give him the chance to come on.
Okay.
What about Jones? Is Jones fit? I know he plays on the left, but is Jones fit?
Jones is fit. Yes.
Yeah.
Jones is fit.
Maybe he could start in the left, and we moved Mac over, but no, not quite.
And don't get me wrong. The reasons why. Exactly what Pops is saying. I was about to say that too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. The reason why, for instance, the reason why I had Curtis, I predicted Curtis to start not this past game, but the previous game before that, was because of the concept that Curtis should understand the gravity of the game. He should, understand the sheer fact about the rivalries and everything else and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, he kind of looked like a passenger in that game, to be honest with you. Excuse me. And it's one of those situations where I want to see Curtis get that confidence back. I think that because he's not been active, he hasn't gotten that sharpness back yet. I'm not saying it's gone forever, I'm saying right now he doesn't have it. And it's one of those things that we're at the business end of the season, that it's almost like you got to have it or you got to be on the bench. It's just that simple. There's no us playing you into form, because by the time you get into form, it could be the end of the season, literally, So it's more about those that can find the form now, as opposed to trying to get these players back into form. And that's unfortunate, because, it's something that we don't have the privilege of doing any longer. You disagree, or?
Well, no, I've no time for playing people into form.
Yeah.
Really, at the best of times, it's like a lot of times you'll hear managers speaking at the start of a season. If their team isn't playing very well, they'll be like, "Well, look, it's the start of the season. It's not about playing well now. It's all about getting points on the board." And then 15 games later, they're still not playing very well. They're like, it's the middle of the season now. It's not about playing well in the middle of the season. It's a grind. You've got to keep going. You got to get the points. It's not about playing well. Then the end of the season comes along and they're still not playing very well. Look, it's not about playing well. It's the end of the season. You just got to get points. Do you know what I'm saying? So they'll tell you there's never, there's never in the Premier League. There's never a time to go, oh well, yeah. With this is 5 games now. We'll play players into form here or there. They have to do it in those tiny little windows that they get, because it's elite sport. It's the highest level. Unfortunately, there's only so many league games. There's only so much time. It's not really about giving players the chance to do things. We've given them the chance by getting in the team. It's just some guys that just can't do it when you need them to. Some guys can. And at the moment, we need the guys who can do it, and just find out who they are and pick the fittest ones and get them on the pitch. Because what is it now? 5? What have we got? 5 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, what have we got?
I'm sorry, I just saw a highlight. Let's not even put that into the universe, by the way.
Oh, yeah, forget that. Yeah, it's
put that into the universe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, even a player in form, or even a player not in form.
Right.
You've got minutes left, basically.
Yeah. And that's where it comes down to. A lot of people have been putting in Gravenberch as being like a very viable selection. I guess, I heard some pushback on the sense of if it wasn't for that goal, then, Gravenberch probably wouldn't have been, as highly regarded from that game. A lot of people weren't very happy with his play up to obviously the goal. And then once he did get the goal, it changed a lot of people's opinions on him.
Jurgen Klopp included. Jurgen Klopp included, though, he was
Yeah,
about to be taken off. He wasn't having a brilliant game. That's I'm not gonna, like I said that. So
yeah,
he wasn't having a brilliant game,
yeah,
and then he scored.
yeah,
Yeah, it's fine. He I'm not gonna say he was amazing. He was having an okay game, and then
yeah,
he scored a great goal. So yeah, I wouldn't overrate him because of it. But
yeah.
I'd stand by what I said. Is that enough to get him into a Merseyside derby? You see, Dom is the question here because, like Pop said earlier on, it's going to be a big physical game, and
Yes.
Dominic works better in that. But like I said about Nunes has been on the bench, come on, done nothing. So what's he done to say? Like Dominic hasn't really kind of done anything either in terms of that. But neither has anyone else. Neither is Jones. Neither is
Dominic came
Elliott.
on for a couple of minutes and figured out a
You
way
know,
to look bad in a couple of minutes.
but yeah, it's
That was not good. Like
no,
to give away that poor pass. Oh my gosh.
it's not an obvious real bring back. It's not an obvious one where he's been gone and now he's back and get him in. It's hard, like it's because you can't say Gravenberch definitely better, Thingy definitely better, Elliot better. He's going to be taking a risk on somebody. I don't think he takes that risk on Elliot. So I think it's probably just Sabaza will get that. Will get him
Mm,
just because of what Pops was saying. He's right. He's a big guy, and he's got to do it. Look, he's got to have he can't wait around forever.
yeah,
He's got to have a performance.
yeah. What was your front three again? Did you have? Would you have? I brought down the chart that I had or the graphic. What was your front three again?
I had Diaz, Gakpo, and Salah.
Okay, I'm looking at it just to think about how it could possibly. Because I was saying I was. Oh, we lost Brian for a second there. I was also saying it's interesting what kind of relationship you can somewhat see between Cody and Gravenberch. And I think maybe it is beneficial from the fact that they do play in Holland together for the national team. They have some relatability, some understanding of each other. And with that thought and us possibly utilizing him on the left being Cody, and obviously Gravenberch plays on the left primarily when you do see him. It would be very, very interesting if you had a case where if you were going to play Cody, you possibly do roll the dice and put Gravenberch in to see if they can, build off of that left-sided relationship that they have. But it's something of an interest. I have my score is going to be 2-0. I definitely want to see I definitely want to see us get a clean sheet. I definitely want to see us be able to have a somewhat comfortable game against this team, kind of push them out of their shell a little bit. I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy matchup because it's going to be a lot of park bus, and um, and a lot of situations where you're going to have to maybe get a scrappy style goal or something like that. It is sort of why I can lean towards more so Brian's front three that he just mentioned, possibly being the front three that you see, because I could definitely see, I would definitely rely more so on Cody being a Diego finisher style substitute than I would Nunez being that finisher style substitute. If you understand what I'm saying?
But I think
Um,
Diaz and Salah are locked.
yeah, it's just a
Surely.
matter of who
So
goes in the middle.
yeah, it's who
Yeah.
that dude. Yeah, it's who that guy is. That's really it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But he's
Mm-hmm.
surprised us before. But as you said, there's no chance he benches Salah twice in a row because he said that. He
No.
said Mo understands. Mo's fit. He knows. Mo won't be sitting down. Mo won't be on the
Yeah.
bench.
It's absolutely no
You know.
chance. Yeah. Yeah. MK Toe, big up MK Toe. His front three is Cody, Nunez, and Diaz. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, no. So yeah, Gakpo on the
So
left
no
and
Mo.
no Mo.
Yeah.
Diaz on the right.
Yeah. I mean, look,
You know,
I really am. It's a promising sight to have seen some of what we've gotten from Diaz on that right wing.
he's
That is
decent
that
over there. He's
he's
decent.
decent. He's very,
It's
very decent.
I like it. I
And you're
don't.
bringing that work rate. You're not getting the same work rate defensively, at least from Salah that you do with Diaz, and he's bringing that to that right side. And that's kind of not saying that Salah doesn't work. I'm just saying that you're going to get, and you definitely have a high work level from
Yeah, but
Diaz.
it's I like that when he does it, it means he can kind of switch as well. You know,
Yeah,
he
absolutely. They're
can
all
drift.
interchangeable. Yeah.
Yeah, he can drift if he's starting on the right. I mean, if Gakpo was there,
Mhm.
he's clever enough. You don't, but it allows Diaz to, if Klopp is say, look, just pick up that guy for a while, go over there just for
Mhm.
5 minutes, just go and play on
Right.
him for 5 minutes, and then switch again, and just keep him guessing a bit. That's
Mhm.
never a bad thing. But he's
No.
not. I don't think he's. I don't think he's like a million times better on the left than he is on the right. I think he's. I think he's just almost just as good after right.
Okay. Yeah. Hylord
You know,
says a positive stat. Liverpool have now scored in their last 20 top flight away fixtures, which is the um second longest run in their league history. I wonder who's got the longest run? Probably City, right?
what's that? The longest score in 20. It's the second longest run in their history. It's our second
Oh,
longest
it's
run
that song in there. Okay, so
for
all right.
us.
Okay.
So
Oh,
we
for
have
us. I got you.
somewhat one
So
of our other
yeah,
sides.
got you.
20 away. I won't be surprised if the other one is probably if this is this will be Premier League. So I'd say the other one is also a Klopp side.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably the
Potentially
side. It's probably the
the
time that we
the
were like,
league.
yeah, the time we went for the league, and we were just like, we were pretty much we were trying to go for the undefeated, or go for uh, a season where the season where we hadn't lost any fixtures actually,
Do you
and then
think
we
Leverkusen will do
ended
it?
up losing to what's that?
Do you think Leverkusen and people in the chat? Do you think Leverkusen will manage to go invincible in their league, or will they
That's
drop
the
off?
question. It's a very good. There are, you know what? They've addressed that question too. They said that they're going for it though, even though they've won the league.
You'd
They
have to,
still
wouldn't
did.
you? You'd
Yeah,
absolutely have to. It's a brilliant motivation.
yeah,
Once, like, because what's there to do when you won that league title? What is there to do?
yeah.
Because if you
Easily.
didn't have that, that's a brilliant motivation to still go and do things to the end of the season and not let up.
Yep,
Just be
yep,
amazing. What like an amazing, just utterly amazing achievement.
yep, yep. So yes, let's see what the chat's saying. Leverkusen could just play for draws as a joke. Yeah, they could. They could. They still would get an undefeated season though. It's still the same.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. The Arsenal
Oh wow,
invincible season they drew, I think,
a lot of people off
15
on a
goal.
lot. We're definitely very very critical of Salah right now. Very critical. Rightfully so, somewhat. Rightfully so.
Sorry, more. Oh, so it's yeah, no, it is
Oh,
an
okay.
all. It's the all-time one. Yeah, well, that's
Okay.
yeah. We can go. What is it?
Oh yeah, okay. So a 21 game run is
But we can beat it
the
now
second division.
this
Right?
week because if we score against Everton, we're away at West Ham,
Yep.
so
Yep.
we can beat that record
Got to
one
win
more
these
week.
games. That means we got to score. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you got to look at what happened to West Ham there the other day, and look at all that's going on with their manager and their season kind of petering out a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a team we always usually do well against.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just a nasty time to be going there
It
like
is.
first
It
thing in the
is.
morning. But
You know what? There was a little bit more. Well, we're going to be landing the plane here and allowing for you guys to go on to your new destinations if this isn't your final destination. But there was some clarity. I remember I brought up a quote from Tim Howard about like Fulham being a easy place to play, and it wasn't necessarily that he's saying that's an easy place to play, period. But he was saying more so that it was the sun was shining, it was nice out. It's like a really beautiful environment. It's a nice part of town. And then he was also contemplating that Fulham wasn't Fulham's not playing for anything in a sense, like they're not playing for top four, they're not playing for Europe, they're not playing for or even any parts of Europe. They're not playing to stay out of relegation. They're solidly a mid-table team. Everton do have something to play for. This is very very important that they get some type of result from this matchup. And a draw they'd be over the moon for a draw, much less a win would be incredibly important for them. But
and they're in a mood.
Yeah,
they're in a mood. Yeah. They're not happy with
getting beaten so bad. They're going to be in the mood to make some redemption or make some type of redemption move.
They feel like they've been really hard done by this year. They've getting their points deductions, they're all of that. So they're not happy. They're not a happy play. They're not a happy camp. So if they take that and turn it around, and they'd love to. You just know they'd love to stop us. They'd love to beat us and go, ha ha ha. That's your title over. You're not winning the league now, and it was us that stopped you doing it.
Oh yeah, very similar to what Manchester United are hanging their hats on right now, which is like they know that Manchester United should know that their season has been crap. Look, they do have an opportunity to possibly pull out an FA Cup, but everyone I'm certain has that as a long shot, to say the least. Considering that they could have not. There's some critics out there that said they should have. It should be Coventry and not.
They got City. Yeah, they got City. Yeah, they're not winning that.
Yeah. So the case for that is if it wasn't for the FA Cup, which is probably most likely going to end up going to City, they're the only trophy that they're talking about is the fact that they beat us in the FA Cup, and that they possibly put a little bit of a punch in the gut, to our title hopes by getting the draw. That's how it seemed seemingly to me. But Everton, I don't want to see them be that team against us as well to sign in on that sign up list. I'm not down with that at all. So yeah. So I have it. So again, I had it at 2-0 being my score. I'm hoping for I would be hoping and looking for who's going to score? Because I did have two people, but now I'm thinking more so because this guy's in the conversation right now, and he's trying to. I was about to say something. He's like, because there's going to be fouls. There's definitely going to be fouls and some free kicks to go on in this game. Let me think. Last game, I said I was looking to get a goal from our back line, albeit I said I thought we were going to get a goal from a corner from Virgil. But Trent stepped up and was that guy. I said we're going to get a goal from our midfield, and I said we're going to get a goal from our front line, and we actually did, which is cool. This time around, I'm going to say that we're going to get a goal from.
Didn't get your goal from a corner, though.
I didn't. But I did say I was going to get from the back line. So
yeah, maybe. And saying that one of our front line is going to score is pretty broad as well. But like I say, you should be in politics.
That's bold, considering that our front line has
one of our front line
latest scored, but before that, it was more so our midfield than it was our front line in some of these games.
Hardly the riskiest bet in the world, though. But okay, I'll give it to you. just about.
All right.
2 free kicks in a row. If he was going to do it anywhere, do it at good. Could you imagine the extra shush on that finger if he did it at Goodison?
I want to say Trent.
I mean, all I'll say is if you're Trent, I wouldn't stand too long near the touchline doing it because things are going to start.
They'll be hurling things at him. I think.
Yeah, stuff's going to start flying. So, but 2 in a row, I'm not sure. I sometimes when you get in a vein of form or whatever. But I agree with you. Hopefully, there will be lots of fouls. There will be lots of set pieces. There will be lots of chances.
I'm
Even
hoping,
if it's just him crossing, but
the
in just the area.
The referee is Andy Madley for this game.
Cool. He's a Liverpool fan.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a big Scouser. Yeah, big Scouser.
Is he?
Yeah. All his years of red.
Is everything going to call up and say that?
One of them has to be. I don't know. Like I always hear about these refs that are fans of other teams. Liverpool's one of the biggest clubs on the planet. One of these guys has to be a Liverpool
one or two.
There has to be
one or two. Right.
Come on. Come on. Let's not kid ourselves. There's definitely a Liverpool fan out there.
I don't
know. But I don't know. Madly, it's someone everyone slags them all off. So there's probably someone out there that can tell you every decision he's given against us. But to me, I forget their names as soon as the game is over because that's that. But it's get him in the 30 yards of the goal, whether it's a set piece where you can create something or have a shot at goal. He's just pinged one in. He's going to fancy doing it again.
Yeah. He's going to have a go.
Especially at Goodison.
He would definitely have a go to make. Yeah, he would definitely have a go at it.
Trent knows.
If given in the right position, like just outside the box, like we had it last time, especially if it's on the left side, he will definitely give it another go. For sure.
He knows, man. He knows what he would. You're talking about bucket list things. He's won everything now, right? Apart from the World Cup and shit.
Yeah. So apart from Europe, basically.
Yeah, like a personal little bucket list. If you're a proper scouser, one of them has to be as a free kick taker, bending one into the top corner at Goodison against the away end. That would have to be once you've done everything else.
I don't know if he goes like this. I don't think he goes like this. I don't even know if he does the whole this thing, the Alexander Arnold symbol, I think he'll come up and do like the Mbappe thing and just kind of like stare. That's my call.
I'm going to the Everton fans though. I'm taking the yellow card. I'm going to the Everton fans just for 2 if they're in the right area. But I think that's got to be up there. Doing it at Goodison.
Does that, man? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that'll be interesting. It'll be what will be certainly interesting.
I hope he doesn't ever win.
Darwin scores. If Darwin scores his celebration, oh my goodness.
No, I hope Trent never wins the Europa. To be honest.
There you go. I understand why you're saying that.
Yeah. I don't want him ever to be in that competition again.
Right, exactly.
Sorry, you missed your one chance to add, everything.
We
ain't going back to that nightclub. It's shit.
That's a good one. Yeah, no more going back to that nightclub. All right, guys. So we're gonna let you guys go on to your final destinations if this isn't the last. But if it is, let me say thank you for joining us today. We will have a game tomorrow, and we were going to figure out a way to do, because I do have actually something that came up on my schedule for tomorrow. So I'm going to figure out how to do something for tomorrow, possibly a lead-in, but into the game. But all the same, we will have something for you tomorrow to wet the beak a little bit, And I can't stress this enough. Please do take the time to take care of yourselves, whether it's your mental health or your physical health. They're both important, equally important, and it's something that you must do in life. Those that can't do it alone, please do reach out for help from others. Professional help is certainly warranted if necessary, and make sure that you're there for your loved ones. It's the best thing we can do. It's the bottom line of what I believe is the concept of being a Red. I don't like seeing red on red violence. I don't like the fact that, you might have a different opinion from me, or I might have a different opinion from you. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to be standing shoulder to shoulder with you when it comes to representing this club. It means more so that we are stronger because we're able to do so. And that's what I want to see be the underlining factor of our unity in this club, in our unity in this fan base. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And we'll hopefully see you tomorrow. I'll allow for the Irishman to give some last words.
Let's beat the Ev.
Okay. That's some last words. For sure. All right. Well, then, in that case, I wish you guys the best today. Make today your day, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow when we all hope to see the Reds make tomorrow our tomorrow. So until tomorrow, up the Reds.